everybody, to another episode of Sip, Read, Repeat. We only have 122 pages left. Yes, I checked. We are about to start, I should say, page 320, and there are 442 pages. So if we're lucky, and if I do this right, we should finish this before the end of the year as planned and then move on to a new book. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. As always, I've got the chalice, and it's just water today. It may be winter, but you still gotta stay hydrated. Anyway, shall we? Nick Dunn, 10 days gone. We spent the day of the interview huddled in the spare bedroom of Tanner's suite, prepping my lines, fixing my look. Betsy fussed over my clothes, then Go trimmed the hair above my ears with nail scissors while Betsy tried to talk me into using makeup, powder, to cut down on shine. We all spoke in low voices because Sharon's crew was setting up outside. The interview would be in the suite's living room, overlooking the St. Louis Arch, gateway to the west. I'm not sure what the point of the landmark was except to serve as a vague symbol of the middle of the country. You are here. You need at least a little powder, Nick, Betsy finally said, coming at me with a puff. Your nose sweats when you get nervous. Nixon lost an election on nose sweat. Tanner oversaw it all like a conductor. Not too much off that side, go, he called. Bets, be very careful with that powder. Better too little than too much. We should have Botoxed him, she said. Apparently, Botox fights sweat, as well as wrinkles. I didn't know that, did you guys? Some of their clients got a series of underarm shots before a trial, and they were already suggesting such a thing for me. Gently, subtly suggesting, should we go to trial? Yeah, I really need the press to get wind that I was having Botox treatments while my wife was missing, I said. Is missing. I knew Amy wasn't dead, but I also knew she was so far out of my reach that she might as well be. She was a wife in a past tense. Good catch, Tanner said. Next time, do it before it comes out of your mouth. At 5 p.m., Tanner's phone rang, and he looked at the display. Boney. He sent it to voicemail. I'll call her after. He didn't want any new bit of information, interrogation, gossip to force us to reformulate our message. I agreed. I didn't want Boney in my head just then. You sure we should? That was weird. You sure we shouldn't see what she wants? Go said. She wants to fuck with me some more, I said. We'll call her. A few hours. She can wait. We all rearranged ourselves, a mass group reassurance that the call was nothing to worry about. The room stayed silent for half a minute. I have to say, I'm strangely excited to get to meet Sharon Schreiber. Go finally said, very classy lady. Not like that Connie Chung. I laughed, which was the intention. Our mother had loved Sharon Schreiber and hated Connie Chung. She'd never forgiven her for embarrassing Newt Gingrich's mother on TV. Something about Newt calling Hillary Clinton a bitch. I don't remember the actual interview, just our mom's outrage over it. At 6 p.m., we entered the room, where 2 chairs were set up facing each other, the arch in the background. The timing picked precisely so the arch would glow, but there would be no sunset glare on the windows. One of the most important moments of my life, I thought, dictated by the angle of the sun. A producer whose name I wouldn't remember clicked towards us on dangerously high heels and explained to me what I should expect. Questions could be asked several times to make the interview seem as smooth as possible and to allow for Sharon's reaction shots. I could not speak to my lawyer before giving an answer. I could rephrase an answer but not change the substance of the answer. Here's some water. Let's get you mic'd. We started to move over to the chair, and Betsy nudged my arm. When I looked down, she showed me a pocket full of jelly beans. Remember, she said and ticked her finger at me. I assumed like this. Suddenly, the suite door swung wide and Sharon Schreiber entered, as smooth as if she were being borne by a team of swans. She was a beautiful woman, a woman who had probably never looked girlish, a woman whose nose probably never sweat. She had thick, dark hair and giant brown eyes that could look doe-like or wicked. "It's Sharon," Go said, a thrilled whisper to imitate our mom. Sharon turned to Go and nodded majestically, came over to greet us. "I'm Sharon," she said in a warm, deep voice, taking both of Go's hands. "Our mother loved you," Go said. "I'm so glad," Sharon said, managing to sound warm. She turned to me and was about to speak when her producer clicked up on high heels and whispered in her ear, then waited for Sharon's reaction, then whispered again. Oh my God," Sharon said. When she turned back to me, she wasn't smiling at all. Okay, what do we think? Okay, so this is obviously why Boney called them two, right? I have to assume the news is related. What do we think it is? They probably found the shed. That's my thought. They found the shed. They found the shed of shit. That's my thought. Okay, Amy Elliott Dunn, 10 days gone. I have made a call to make a call. The meeting can't happen until this evening. There are predictable complications, so I kill the day by primping and prepping. I clean myself in a McDonald's bathroom, green gel and wet paper towels, and change into a cheap papery sundress. I think about what I'll say. I am surprisingly eager. The shithole life was wearing on me. The communal washing machine with someone's wet underwear always stuck in the rungs at the top to be peeled out by a hesitant, pincered fingers. The corner of my cabin rug that was forever mysteriously damp. The dripping faucet in the bathroom. At 5 o'clock, I began driving north to the meeting spot, a river casino called Horseshoe Alley. It appears out of nowhere, a blinking neon clump in the middle of a scrawny forest. I roll in on fumes, a cliche I've never put to practice. Park the car and take in the view. A migration of elderly scuttling like broken insects on walkers and canes, jerking oxygen tanks toward the bright lights. Sliding in and out of groups of octogenarians, are hustling, overdressed boys who've watched too many Vegas movies and don't know how poignant they are, trying to imitate Rat Pack Cool in cheap suits in the Missouri woods. I enter under a glowing billboard promoting, for 2 nights only, the reunion of 50s doo-wop group. Inside, the casino is frigid and closed. The penny slots clink and clang, joyful electronic chirps that don't match the dull, drooping faces of the people sitting in front of the machines, smoking cigarettes above dangling oxygen masks. Penny in, penny in, penny in, penny in, penny in, ding, 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 penny in, penny in. The money that they waste goes to the underfunded public schools that their bored, blinking grandchildren attend. Penny in, penny in. A group of wasted boys stumble past. A bachelor party. The boys' lips wet from shots. They don't even notice me. Husky and hamel-haired. They are talking about girls. Get us some girls. But besides me, the only girls I see are golden. The boys will drink away their disappointment and try not to kill fellow motorists on the way home. I wait in a pocket bar to the far left of the casino entrance, as planned, and watch the aged boy band sing to a large, snowy-haired audience, snapping and clapping along, shuffling gnarled fingers through bowls of complimentary peanuts. The skeletal singers, withered beneath bedazzled tuxes, spin slowly, carefully, on replaced hips. The dance of the moribund. The casino seemed like a good idea at first, right off the highway, filled with drunks and elderly, neither of whom are known for their eyesight. But I am feeling crowded and fidgety, aware of the cameras in every corner, the doors that could snap shut. I am about to leave when he ambles up. "Amy, I've called devoted Desi to my aid in a bet." Interesting. Desi, with whom I've never entirely lost touch, and who, despite what I've told Nick, my parents, doesn't unnerve me in the slightest. Desi, another man along the Mississippi. So if you guys remember, Nick met this man. So this is a very interesting development. I always knew he might come in handy. It's good to have at least one man you can use for anything. Desi is a white knight type. He loves troubled women. Over the years after Wickshire, when we talk, I'd ask after his latest girlfriend. And no matter the girl, he would always say, "Oh, she's not doing very well, unfortunately." But I know it is fortunate for Desi. The eating disorder, the painkiller addictions, the crippling depressions. He is never happier than when he's at a bedside. Not in bed, just perched nearby with broth and juice and a gently scratched voice. Poor darling. Now he is here, dashing in a white midsummer suit. Does he change his wardrobes monthly? What was appropriate for June would not work for July. I've always admired the discipline, the precision of the Collings costuming. He looks good. I don't. I am too aware of my human glasses, the extra roll of flesh at my waist. Amy. He touches my cheek. Then he pulls me in for an embrace. Not a hug. Desi doesn't hug. It's more like being encased by something tailored just to you. Sweetheart, you can't imagine. That call. I thought I'd gone insane. I thought I was making you up. I daydream about it. That somehow you were alive. And then that call. Are you okay? I am now, I say. I feel safe now. It's been awful. And then I burst into tears, actual tears, which hadn't been the plan, but they feel so relieving and they fit the moment so perfectly that I let myself unravel entirely. The stress drips off me, the nerve of enacting the plan, the fear of being caught, the loss of my money, the betrayal, the manhandling, the pure wildness of being on my own for the first time in my life. I look quite pretty after a cry of about 2 minutes. Longer than that, and the nose goes runny. The puffiness sets in. But up to that, my lips get fuller, my eyes bigger, my cheeks flushed. I count as I cry into Desi's crisp shoulder. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, that river again, and I curb the tears at 1 minute and 48 seconds. Super villain. That, like, are we all on the same page here that she's a supervillain? She called this man specifically to use him. She did accidentally cry, but she then controlled the cry to stop it at a certain time. Evil incarnate. Anywho, I'm sorry I couldn't get here earlier, sweetheart, Desi says. I know how full Jacqueline keeps your schedule, I demur. Desi's mom is a touchy subject in our relationship. He studies me. You look very different, he says. So full in the face, especially. And your poor hair is. He catches himself. Amy, I just never thought I could be so grateful for anything. Tell me what's happened. I tell a gothic tale of possessiveness and rage, of Midwest steak and potato brutality, barefoot pregnancy, animalistic dominance, of rape and pills and liquor and fists, pointed cowboy hats in the ribs, fear and betrayal, parental apathy, isolation, and Nick's final telling words. You can never leave me. I will kill you. I will find you no matter what. You are mine. How I had to disappear for my own safety and the safety of my unborn child, and how I needed Desi's help, my savior. My story would satisfy Desi's craving for ruined women. I was now the most damaged of them all. Long ago, back in boarding school, I told him about my father's nightly visits to my bedroom, me in a roughly pink nightgown, staring at the ceiling until he was done. Desi has loved me ever since the lie. I know he pictures making love to me, how gentle and reassuring he would be as he plunged into me, stroking my hair. I know he pictures me crying softly as I give myself to him. This evil bitch. Sorry, that was an ad-lib. That might have been mean, but she's an evil bitch. I can't ever go back to my old life, Desi. Nick will kill me. I'll never feel safe, but I can't let him go to prison. I just wanted to disappear. I didn't realize the police would think he did it. I glanced prettily toward the band on stage, where a skeletal septuagenarian, whatever. She's definitely dissing somebody, is singing about love. Not far from our table, a straight backed guy with a trim mustache tosses his cup toward a trash can near us in bricks, a term I learned from Nick. I wish I'd picked a more picturesque spot, and now the guy is looking at me, tilting his head toward the side in exaggerated confusion. If he were a cartoon, he'd scratch his head, and it'll make a rubbery rick rick sound. For some reason, I think he looks like a cop. I turn my back to him. Nick is the last thing you have to worry about, Desi said. Give that worry to me, and I'll take care of it. He holds out his hand, an old gesture. He is my worry keeper. It is a ritual game we played as teens. I pretend to place something in his palm, and he closes his fingers over it. And I actually feel better. No, I won't take care of it. I do hope Nick dies for what he did to you, he said. In a sane society, he would. Well, we're in an insane society, so I need to stay hidden, I say. Do you think that's horrible for me? I already know the answer. Sweetheart, of course not. You are doing what you've been forced to do. It would be madness to do anything else. He doesn't ask anything about the pregnancy. I knew he wouldn't. You're the only one who knows, I say. I'll take care of you. What can I do? I pretend to balk, chewing the edge of my lip, look away and then back to Desi. I need money to live on for a bit. I thought about getting a job, but oh no, don't do that. You are everywhere, Amy. On all the newscasts, all the magazines, someone would recognize you. Even with this, touches my hair. New sporty cut of yours. You're a beautiful woman, and it's difficult for beautiful women to disappear. Unfortunately, I think you're right, I say. I just don't want you to think I'm taking advantage. I just didn't know where else to. The waitress, a plain brunette, disguised as a pretty brunette, drops by, sets out drinks on the table. I turn my face from her and see that the mustache curious guy is standing a little closer, watching me with a half smile. I am off my game. Old Amy never would have come here. My mind is addled by Diet Coke and my own body odor. I ordered you a gin and tonic, I say. Desi gives a delicate grimace. What? I ask. But I already know. That's my spring drink. I'm Jack and Ginger's now. Then we'll get you one of those, and I'll have your gin. No, it's fine. Don't worry. The looky-loo appears again in my peripheral. Is that guy with the mustache? Don't look now. Is he staring at me? Desi gives a flick of a glance, shakes his head. He's watching the singers. He says the word dubiously. You don't just want a little bit of cash. You'll get tired of this subterfuge, not being able to look people in the face, living among, he spreads his arms out to include the whole casino, people with whom I assume you don't have much in common, living below your means. Hey, water be mad good for real, for real. That's what it was for the next 10 years, until I've aged enough and the story has gone away and I can feel comfortable. Ha! You want to do that for 10 years? Amy? Shh. Don't say the name. Kathy or Jenny or Megan or whatever, don't be ludicrous. The waitress returns, and Desi hands her a 20 and dismisses her. She walks away grinning, holding the 20 up like it is a novel. I take a sip of my drink. The baby won't mind. I don't think Nick would press charges if you return, Desi says. What? He came by to see me. I think he knows that he's to blame. He came to see you? When? Last week. Before I talked to you, thank God. Nick has shown more interest in me these past 10 days than he has in the past few years. I've always wanted a man to get in a fight over me. A brutal, bloody fight. We're going to pause there. Women, that's you? How many of you out there actually want and wish for the man you're with to get into a fight? Be honest. This is a safe space. Nick going to interrogate Desi? That's a nice start. What did he say? I asked. How did he seem? He seemed like a top drawer asshole. He wanted to pin it on me. Told me some insane story about how I'd always liked that lie about Desi trying to kill himself over me. He had truly been devastated by our breakup, and he'd been really annoying, creepy, hanging around campus, hoping I'd take him back. so he might as well have attempted suicide. What did Nick say about me? I think he knows that he can never hurt you now that the world knows and cares about who you are. He'd have to let you come back safely, and you could divorce him and marry the right man. He took a sip. At long last. I can't come back, Desi. Even if people believed everything about Nick's abuse, I'd still be the one they hated. I was the one who tricked them. I'd be the biggest pariah in the world. You'd be my pariah, and I'd love you no matter what, and I'd shield you from everything, Desi said. You would never have to deal with any of it. We'd never be able to socialize with anyone again. We can leave the country if you want. Live in Spain, Italy, wherever you like. Spend our days eating mangoes in the sun, sleep late, play Scrabble, flip through books aimlessly, swim in the ocean. And when I died, I'd be some bizarre footnote, a freak show. No, I do have pride, Desi. I'm not letting you go back to the trailer park life. I'm not. Come with me. We'll set you up in the lake house. It's very secluded. I'll bring groceries and anything you need anytime. You can hide out all alone until we decide what to do. Desi's lake house was a mansion, and bringing groceries was becoming my lover. I could feel the need coming off him like heat. He was squirming a little under his seat, wanting to make it happen. Desi was a collector. He had 4 cars, 3 houses, suites of suits and shoes. He would like knowing I was stowed away under glass, the ultimate white knight fantasy. He steals the abused princess from her squalid circumstances and places her under his gilded protection in a castle that no one can breach but him. I can't do that. What if the police find out somehow and they come to search? Amy, the police think you're dead. No, I should be on my own for now. Can I just have a little cash from you? What if I say no? Then I'll know your offer to help me isn't genuine, that you're like Nick and you just want to control me, however you can get it. Desi was silent, swallowing his drink with a tight jaw. That's a rather monstrous thing to say. It's a rather monstrous way to act. I'm not acting that way, he said. I'm worried about you. Try the lake house. If you feel cramped by me, if you feel uncomfortable, you leave. The worst that can happen is you get a few days rest and relaxation. The mustache guy is suddenly at our table, a flickering smile on his face. Ma'am, I don't suppose you're any relation to the Enlow family, are you? He asks. No, I say and turn away. Sorry, you look like some. We're from Canada. Now excuse us, Desi snaps. And the guy rolls his eyes, mutters a geez, and strolls back to the bar. But he keeps glancing at me. We should leave, Desi says. Come to the lake house. I'll take you there now. He stands. Desi's lake house would have a grand kitchen. It would have rooms I could trapeze in. Traipse in, excuse me. I could hills are alive twirl in them. The rooms would be so massive. The house would have Wi-Fi and cable for all my command center needs. And a gaping bathtub and plush robes and a bed that didn't threaten to collapse. It would have Desi too, but Desi could be managed. At the bar, the guy is still staring at me, less benevolently. I lean over and kiss Desi gently on the lips. It has to seem like my decision. You're such a wonderful man. I'm sorry to put you in this situation. I want to be in this situation, Amy. We are on our way out, walking past a particularly depressing bar, TVs buzzing in all corners, when I see the slut. The slut is holding a press conference. Andy looks tiny and harmless. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see this. Andy looks tiny and harmless. She looks like a babysitter, and not a sexy porn star babysitter, but the girl from down the road, the one who actually plays with the kids. I know this is not the real Andy because I have followed her in real life. In real life, she wears snug tops that show off her breasts and clingy jeans and her hair long and wavy. In real life, she looks fuckable. Now she is wearing a ruffled shirt dress with her hair tucked behind her ears, and she looks like she's been crying. You can tell by the small pink pads beneath her eyes. She looks exhausted and nervous, but very pretty. Prettier than I thought before. I never saw her this close up. She has freckles. Oh shit, says one woman to her friend, a cheap cabernet redhead. Oh no, I was actually starting to feel bad for the guy, says the friend. I have crap in my fridge older than that girl. What an asshole. Andy stands behind the mic and looks down with dark eyelashes at a statement that Leaf shakes in her hand. Her upper lip is damp. It shines under the camera lights. She swipes an index finger to blot the sweat. Um, my statement is this. I did engage in an affair with Nick Dunn from April 2011 until July of this year, when his wife, Amy Dunn, went missing. Nick was my professor at North Carthage Junior College, and we became friendly, and then the relationship became more. Andy stops to clear her throat. A dark-haired woman behind her, not much older than I am, hands her a glass of water, which she slurps quickly, the glass shaking. I am deeply ashamed of having been involved with a married man. It goes against all my values. I truly believed I was in love. She begins crying. Her voice shivers. With Nick Dunn, and that he was in love with me. He told me that his relationship with his wife was over and that they would be divorcing soon. I did not know that Amy Dunn was pregnant. I am cooperating with the police in their investigation in the disappearance of Amy Dunn, and I will do everything in my power to help. Her voice is tiny, childish. She looks up at the wall of cameras in front of her, and she seems shocked, looks back down. Two apples turn red in her sound cheeks. I, I, she begins sobbing, and her mother, that woman was to be her mother, or has to be her mother, they have the same oversized anime eyes, puts an arm on her shoulder. Andy continues reading. I am so sorry and ashamed for what I have done, and I want to apologize to Amy's family for any role I played in their pain. I am cooperating with the police for the Oh, I said that already. She smiles a weak, embarrassed smile, and the press corps chuckle encouragingly. Poor little thing, says the redhead. She is a little slut. She is not to be pitied. I cannot believe anyone would feel sorry for Andy. I literally refuse to believe it. I am a 23-year-old student, she continues. I ask only for some privacy to heal during this very painful time. Good luck with that, I mutter as Andy backs away and a police officer declines to take any questions and they walk off camera. I catch myself leaning to the left as if I could follow them. Poor little lamb, says the older woman. She seemed terrified. I guess he did do it after all. Over a year he was with her. Slime bag. Desi gives me a nudge and widens his eyes in the question. Did I know about the affair? Was I okay? My face is a mask of fury. Poor little lamb, my ass. But I can pretend it is because of this betrayal. I nod, smile weakly. I am okay. We are about to leave when I see my parents, holding hands as always, stepping up to the mic in tandem. Oh shit. My mother looks like she's just gotten her hair cut. I wonder if I should be annoyed that she paused in the middle of my disappearance for personal grooming. When someone dies and the relatives carry on, you always hear them say, so and so would have wanted it that way. I don't want it that way. My mother speaks. Our statement is brief, and we will take no questions afterward. First, thank you for the tremendous outpouring for our family. It seems the world loves Amy as much as we do. Amy, we miss your warm voice and your good humor, and your quick wit and your good heart. You are indeed amazing. We will return you to our family. I know we will. Second, we did not know that our son-in-law, Nick Dunn, was having an affair until this morning. He has been, since the beginning of this nightmare, less involved, less interested, less concerned than he should be. Giving him the benefit of the doubt, we attributed this behavior to shock. With our new knowledge, we no longer feel that way. We have withdrawn our support from Nick accordingly. As we move forward with the investigation, we can only hope that Amy comes back to us. Her story must continue. The world is ready for a new chapter. Amen, says someone. They turned on him just that quick. Nick Dunn, 10 days gone. The show was over. Andy and the Elliots gone from view. Sharon's producer kicked the TV off with the point of her heel. Everyone in the room was watching me, waiting for an explanation. The party guests who just shat on the floor. Sharon gave me a too bright smile, an angry smile that strained her Botox, her face folded in the wrong spots. Well, she said in her calm, plummy voice. What the fuck was that? Tanner stepped in. That was the bombshell. Nick was and is fully prepared to disclose and discuss his actions. I'm sorry about the timing, but in a way, it's better for you, Sharon. You'll get the first react from Nick. You better have some goddamn interesting things to say, Nick. She breezed away, calling, Mike him. We do this now. To no one in particular. Sharon Shaber, it turned out, fucking adored me. In New York, I'd always heard rumors that she'd been a cheat herself and returned to her husband a very hush-hush inside journalism story. That was almost 10 years ago, but I figured the urge to absolve might still be there. It was. She beamed, she coddled, she cajoled and teased. She pursed those full glossy lips at me in deep sincerity, a knuckled hand under her chin, and asked me her hard questions. And for once, I answered them well. I am not a liar of Amy's dazzling caliber, but I'm not bad when I have to be. I look like a man who loved his wife, who was shamed by his infidelities, and ready to do right. The night before, sleepless and nervy, I'd gone online and watched Hugh Grant on Leno, 1995, apologizing to the nation for getting lewd with a hooker. Stuttering, stammering, squirming, and his skin were two sizes, as if, pardon me, his skin were two sizes too small. But no excuses. I think you know in life what's a good thing to do and what's a bad thing. And I did a bad thing. And there you have it. Damn, the guy was good. He looked sheepish, nervous, so shaky you wanted to take his hand and say, buddy, it's not a big deal. Don't beat yourself up. Which was the effect I was going for. I watched that clip so many times, I was in danger of borrowing a British accent. I was the ultimate hollow man, the husband that Amy always claimed couldn't apologize, finally did, using words and emotions borrowed from an actor. But it worked. Sharon, I did a bad thing, an unforgivable thing. I can't make any excuses for it. I let myself down. I've never thought of myself as a cheater. It's inexcusable. It's unforgivable. And I just want Amy to come home so I could spend the rest of my life making it up to her, treating her how she deserves. Oh, I definitely like to treat her how she deserves. But here's the thing, Sharon. I did not kill Amy. I would never hurt her. I think what's happening here is what I've been calling a chuckle. In my mind, the Ellen Abbott effect. This embarrassing, irresponsible brand of journalism. We are so used to seeing these murders of women packaged as entertainment, which is disgusting. And in these shows, who is guilty? It's always the husband. So I think the public, and to an extent, even the police, have been hammered into believing that's always the case. From the beginning, it was practically assumed I had killed my wife. Because that's the story we are told time after time. And that's wrong. That's morally wrong. I did not kill my wife. I want her to come home. I knew Sharon would like an opportunity to paint Ellen Abbott as a sensationalistic ratings whore. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I have hiccups, so I apologize in advance. I knew Regal Sharon with her 20 years in journalism, her interviews with Arafat and Sarkozy and Obama would be offended by the very idea of Ellen Abbott. Was a journalist. I know the drill. And so when I said those words, the Ellen Abbott effect, I recognized Sharon's mouth twitch, the delicately raised eyebrows, the lightening of her whole visage. It was the look when you realize I got my angle. At the end of the interview, Sharon took both my hands in hers, cool, a bit calloused. I'd read she was an avid golfer and wished me well. I will be keeping a close eye on you, my friend, she said, and then she was kissing Go on the cheek and swishing away from us, the back of her dress a battlefield of stick pins to keep the material in front from slouching. You fucking did that perfectly, Go pronounced as she headed to the door. You seem totally different than before. in charge, but not cocky. Even your jaw is less dickish. I unclefted my chin. Almost, yeah. See you back home. She actually gave me a go champ punch to the shoulder. I followed the Sharon Shaber interview with 2 quickies, one cable and one network. Tomorrow, the Schreiber interview would air, and then the others would roll out. A domino of apologetics and remorse. I was taking control. I was no longer going to settle for being the possibly guilty husband, or the emotionally removed husband, or the heartlessly cheating husband. I was the guy everyone knew, the guy many men and women have been. I cheated. I feel like shit. I will do what needs to be done to fix the situation because I am a real man. We are in decent shape, Tanner pronounced as we wrapped up. The thing with Andy, it won't be as awful as it might have been thanks to the interview with Sharon. We just need to stay ahead of everything else from now. Go phone. And I picked up. Her voice was thin and high. The cops are here with warrant for the woodshed. They're at Dad's house too. I'm scared. Called that one. Go was in the kitchen smoking a cigarette when we arrived, and judging from the overflow in the kitschy 70s ashtray, she was on her second pack. Damn. An awkward, shoulderless kid with a cut crew in a police uniform sat next to her on one of the bar stools. This is Tyler, she said. He grew up in Tennessee. He has a horse named Custard. Custer, Tyler said. Custer. And he's allergic to peanuts. Not the horse, but Tyler. Oh, and he has a torn labrum, which is the same injury baseball pitchers get, but he's not sure how he got it. She took a drag on the cigarette. Her eyes watered. He's been here a long time. Tyler tried to give me a tough look, ended up watching his well-shined shoes. Boney appeared through the sliding glass doors at the back of the house. Big day, boys, she said. Wish you'd bother letting us know, Nick, that you have a girlfriend. Would have saved us all a lot of time. We're happy to discuss that, as well as the contents of the shed, both of which we were on our way to tell you about, Tanner said. Frankly, if you had given us a courtesy of telling us about Andy, a lot of pain could have been forestalled, but you needed the press conference. You had to have the publicity. How disgusting to put that girl up there like that. Right? Boney said. So the woodshed. You all want to come with me? She turned her back on us, leading the way over the patchy end of summer grass to the woodshed. A cobweb trailed from her hair like a wedding veil. She motioned impatiently when she saw me not following. Come on, she said. Not gonna bite you. The woodshed was lit up with several portable lights, making it look even more ominous. When's the last time you've been in here, Nick? I came in here very recently when my wife's treasure hunt led me here, but it's not my stuff, and I did not touch anything. Tanner cut me off. My client and I have an explosive new theory, Tanner began, then caught himself. The phony TV speak was so incredibly awful and inappropriate, we all cringed. Oh, explosive. How exciting, Boney said. We were about to inform you. Really? What convenient timing, she said. Stay there, please. The door hung loose on its hinges, a broken lock dangling to the side. Gilpin was inside, cataloging the goods. These the golf clubs you don't play with, Gilpin said, jostling the glinting irons. None of this is mine. None of this was put here by me. That's funny, because everything in here corresponds with purchases made on the credit cards that aren't yours either. Boney snapped. This is like, what do they call it? A man cave? A man cave in the making, just waiting for the wife to go away for good. Got yourself some nice pastimes, Nick. She pulled out 3 large cardboard boxes and set them at my feet. What's this? Boney opened them with fingertip disgust despite her gloved hands. Inside were dozens of porn DVDs, flesh of all color and size on display on the covers. Gilpin chuckled. I gotta hand it to you, Nick. I mean, a man has his needs. Men are highly visual. That's what my ex always said when I caught him, Boney said. Men are highly visual. But Nick, this shit made me blush, Gilpin said. It made me a little sick, too. Some of it. And I don't get sick too easy. He spread out the DVDs like an ugly deck of cards. Most of the titles implied violence, brutal anal, brutal blowjobs, humiliated whores, sadistic slut fucking, gang rape sluts. in a series called Hurt the Bitch, volumes 1 through 18, each featuring photos of women writhing in pain while leering, laughing men inserting objects into them. I turned away. Oh, now he's embarrassed, Gilpin grinned, but I didn't respond because I saw Go being helped into the back of a police car. We met an hour later at the police station. Tanner advised against it. I insisted. I appealed to his iconoclast millionaire rodeo cowboy ego. We were going to tell the cops the truth. It was time. I could handle them fucking with me, but not my sister. I'm agreeing to this because I think your arrest is inevitable, Nick, no matter what we do, he said. If we let them know we're up for talking, we may get some more information on the case they've got against you. Without a body, they'll really want a confession. So they'll try to overwhelm you with evidence. And that may give us enough to really jumpstart our defense. And we give them everything, right? I said. We give them the clues and the marionettes and Amy. I was panicked, aching to go. I could picture the cops right now spreading my sister under a bare light bulb. As long as you let me talk, Tanner said. If it's me talking about the frame up, they can't use it against us at trial if we go with a different defense. It concerned me that my lawyer found the truth to be so completely unbelievable. Gilpin met us at the steps of the station, a Coke in his hand, late dinner. When he turned around to lead us in, I saw a sweat-soaked back. The sun had long set, but the humidity remained. He flapped his arms once, and the shirt fluttered and stuck right back to his skin. Still hot, he said. Supposed to get hotter overnight. Boney was waiting for us in the conference room, the one from the first night, the night of. She French braided her limp hair and clipped it to the back of her head in a rather poignant updo, and she wore lipstick. I wondered if she had a date. Meet you after midnight situation. You have kids? I asked, pulling out a chair. She looked startled and held up a finger. One. She didn't say a name or age or anything else. Boney was in business mode. She tried to wait us out. You first, Tanner said. Tell us what you got. Sure, Boney said. Okay. She turned on the tape recorder, dispensed with the preliminaries. It is in your contention, Nick, that you never bought or touched the items in the woodshed on your sister's property. That is correct, Tanner replied. Nick, your fingerprints are all over almost every item in the shed. That's a lie. I touched nothing, not a thing in there, except for my anniversary present, which Amy left inside. Tanner touched my arm. Shut the fuck up. Nick, your fingerprints are on the porn, on the golf clubs, on the watch cases, and even on the TV. And then I saw it. How much Amy would have enjoyed this. My deep, self-satisfied sleep, which I lorded over her. My belief that if she were only more laid back, more like me, her insomnia would vanish. Turned against me. I could see it. Amy, down on her knees, my snores heating her cheeks as she pressed a fingertip here and there over the course of the months. She could have slipped me a Mickey for all I knew. I remember her peering at me one morning as I woke up, sleep wax gumming my lips, and she said, You sleep the sleep of the damned, or the drugged. I was both and didn't know it. Do you want to explain about the fingertips, Gilpin said? Tell us the rest, Tanner said. Boney set a biblically thick leather-covered binder, on the table between us, charred all along the edges. Recognize this? I shrugged, shook my head. It's your wife's diary. No. Amy didn't do diaries. Actually, Nick, she did. She did about 7 years worth, Boney said. Okay. Something bad was about to happen. My wife was being clever again. Just when you think Nick is looking good for him, shit hit the fan. Andy turned against him. Amy's parents turned against him with Andy. And you know what, though? I know this is a little bit short, but we're going to stop there, guys. Yeah, just because that's just the perfect cliffhanger. It just really is. And as much as I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. So until next time, Peace.